Hello, please, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, all right, so let's begin.
We can hear you.
All right,
Yeah, I can hear you.
okay.
Yeah,
So, good evening to you once again.
Good
Let's
evening,
pray.
boss.
Let's pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we give you all the glory, we give you all the adoration. We thank you, O God, for how far you brought us, that you sent us to our various workplaces and you sent us home safely. As we are about to stage, we pray, O God, that may you grant us with understanding and wisdom. Let your perfect will be done in our lives today. And at the end, we say that indeed you are a true God. This and many other things we ask in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Um,
Yes, so we started the conceptual framework of accounting, public sector accounting and finance. And we are done with the whole chapter. This chapter, if it's supposed to come to the
yes.
examination, is going to give you 10 marks. If it comes in the examination, it's going to give you 10 marks. So please, let's have it on our mind that once we have this chapter dropping in the examination, we are going to have 10 marks from this side. We are done with the topic where we draw the conclusion that everything that we are going to do under conceptual framework is going to be based on these 8 chapters. And we've gone through all the chapters, we've abreast ourselves with everything that you're supposed to know. Today, we are going to go through the past question for us to know how the questions are being set. We are going to go through the past question to know the questions that are being examined, and then you also get to know how to answer them when it comes to the examination. So we are going to start with, maybe we are just going to solve for 2 years. Moving forward, I'll send the past questions on the page, then we take it from there. So let's go to our past question. You read the question, and then we take it from that side. So please let's hold on. I'm coming. Okay, let me even stop showing this. And please hold on. I'm coming. Can you see my screen now? Please, can you see my screen?
yes, we can see it.
Okay, so we are going to start with 2019. You go to 2019, November 2019. So mostly from 2019 to 2024, when you take the question, you mostly see the conceptual framework dropping under the question one. So once you take the past question, you realize that is conceptual framework dropping under question one. Now, when you take November 2019, question 1C, it says that, can someone read for us so that we take it from there? Mr. Osman. Mr. Osman, can you please read for us?
Yeah. Let me see. Measurement of assets for recognition in the financial statement is a critical consideration in financial reporting and has been problematic in the public sector, given the nature of assets involved. Should I continue?
Yes, please.
The public sector organization is currently in transition from cash-basis accounting to accrual-basis accounting, which require measurement and recognition of all assets in the general purpose financial report. Of much concern to the entity is how to select the appropriate measurement basis for the assets of the entity listed below to ensure that the objective of financial reporting are achieved. Human resource software developed by the entity, stock of books in the library, vehicle donated to the entity. You have been consulted on the issues raised above to help the entity choose appropriate measurement for the recognition of the above listed assets. The requirements. In line with the conceptual framework for general purpose financial reporting by public sector entities issued by International Public Sector Accounting Standard Board, IPSAPS, discuss the objectives of the measurement of assets in financial statement that should guide the choice of measurement basis for assets recognition. Suggest an appropriate measurement basis for each of the assets indicated above, and discuss how your selective measurement basis meet the objective of measurement in each case. Then that's
Okay.
all.
All right, thank you very much. So you realize that we have 10 marks here, right? So
Yes.
that is that. Now, yesterday, if you go through this question, you realize that it is just one particular chapter. That is the measurement criteria for assets and liability that is being lifted, and you have been asked to provide answers to this question. I hope I am right.
Yes.
When you read this, it is saying that we have accrual and a cash basis. So at first, we used to have two bases of accounting. We have the accrual basis and cash basis, where it says that the cash basis says that you should only record cash item. You should only record cash item. As and when you receive cash, then you record them. But accrual basis is saying that once we incur the revenue or once we incur the expenses, we should recognize it in our books. So that's the only difference. Now, whatever this question is asking you to do is about the measurement criteria. So they've given you this. They've given you the human resource software developed by an entity. They've given you stock of books in library. They've given you vehicle donated by what? Donated by
to the entity.
To the entity. Now, you have been consulted on the issues raised above to help the entity choose appropriate measurement for the recognition. So now, when you say measurement, what did we say about measurement yesterday? We said measurement is attaching monetary value to what? An item in the financial statement.
Yes.
And we came up with the idea that our objective of measurement is select a basis that will be what? That will be suitable to achieve three purposes. That is what? Operational capacity, cost of service, and what? Financial capacity. I hope I am right.
Yes.
So, in line with the conceptual framework of general purpose financial reporting by the public sector entity issued by the International Public Sector Accounting Standard, discuss the objective of what? Objective of measurement of assets in the financial statement that should guide the choice of measurement basis for this. So this is basically talking about what? The objective of what? Measurement. Objective of what? Measurement. And then we said that according to the conceptual framework, the objective of measurement is to select those measurement bases that most fairly reflect the cost of service, operational capacity, and financial capacity of an entity in a manner that is useful in holding the entity to account accounting or decision-making purposes. Please, I hope you understand.
Yes.
So whatever that we are talking about here in the I, it is about what? It is about our what objectives of what measurement. So once you take your how do you call it? Once you take your slide, you realize that when you go to the measurement criteria, it is supposed to give you what? It is supposed to give you everything that you need. So this is our measurement criteria. Let's go to our measurement criteria and verify from it that whatever you said is right. So this is our measurement criteria. So objective of measurement. The objective of measurement is to select those measurement bases that fairly would reflect the cost of service, operational capacity, and financial capacity of an entity in a manner that is useful in holding the entity to account and for decision making. The selection of measurement basis for assets and liability contribute to the meeting the objective of financial reporting in the public sector by providing information that enable users to assess the cost of service provided in the period in historical or current terms. So the cost of service, the operation capacity, the capacity of an entity to support the provision of what? Provision of services in future period through the physical or other resources. Financial capacity, the ability of the entity to fund its activity. So the formats that you are seeing there, the formats is basically what? The objective of what? The financial what? Measurement. Please, I hope you understand. So that is how the questions are being said. They can lift a particular chapter and then they will ask you a question under it. And then what will happen is that if they ask you a question, the question is not going to be outside the learning material. You realize that this is clearly in what? In the learning material. So you have to know how to go about it. Suggest an appropriate measurement basis for each of the assets indicated above and discuss how your selected measurement basis meet the objective of what measurement in each case. So what will happen is that you take the human resource software developed by an entity, and then stock of books in what? In a library, vehicle donated by what? To the entity. So you ask yourself, which measurement criteria meet these assets? We have historical cost, you have market value, you have replacement cost, we have net realizable value. So you have to ask yourself that if I take human resource software developed by an entity, does it meet the historical cost definition? Does it meet replacement cost definition? Does it meet net value in use definition? Does it meet net realizable value definition? You ask yourself that question. Now, Mr. Osman, human resource software developed by the entity, which measurement criteria do you think you use? Mr. Osman, please choose the stock of books in library, and then Mr. Ampri, please choose the vehicle donated to the entity. Let's discuss it. Mr. Osman, please go ahead.
The historical cost.
Why did you choose the historical cost?
That you say to choose the human resource.
Yeah, so why did you choose
software?
Yes.
Why did I choose the historical cost?
Yes, why do you think historical cost is the appropriate measurement basis for you to use?
Because is the cost incurred in attaining the human resource. So that is the cost that is incurred in acquiring the human resource need of the entity. In developing the software for the entity. That's why I've chosen the historical cost.
Okay. Now, so you realize that they said what human resource software developed by an entity. Yesterday, yes. we also draw conclusions to the emphasis that historical cost is the cost that you pay in acquiring or developing an asset. I hope
Yes.
you understand. So here
Yes.
you realize that the human resource software is being developed by what? It's being developed by the entity.
Entity.
If the entity is developing it, then the cost involved in developing the software
Development.
becomes the what? The historical cost.
Local cost. Yes.
I hope you understand. So once you
Yes.
know that it's a historical cost, once you take replacement cost, because they are not going to buy this, they are not going to buy this software. You can't use replacement cost because you don't know the cost at which they bought this. They are going
Yes.
to, they are going to what? They are going to develop this. So if they are going to develop this, it means the entity is going to incur costs in
Historical
developing it,
cost.
which becomes the historical cost.
Local
The cost
cost.
that they will incur in what? The cost that they will incur in developing what?
The human
The
resource.
software.
Software.
Please, I hope you understand. When you take
Yes.
net realizable value, they are not selling this human resource. They didn't state that
No.
they are selling it. So you won't even be able to know the realizable value from this. I hope you understand.
Yes. Yes.
And then value in use. The software is not developed already. That you will see that they have developed the software. So let me present value the future benefit that I'll get from it. Please, I hope you understand.
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey, please, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Please, do you understand? Any question? Like, I want you to understand it. That is the reason I'm taking my time to go over it. Because you don't have accounting background. Do you understand it, please?
I understand it, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Now,
yes, sir.
when you are done with this, you are not done. You have to link it to what? The objective of what? Objective. The question says that discuss the state the appropriate measurement basis for each of the assets indicated above and discuss how the selected measurement basis meet the objectives. So if it is historical cost, how does it meet the cost of service? How does it meet the cost of service? How does it meet the operational what? The operational capacity? How does it meet the what? The funding capacity, the financing capacity? So the cost of service through the amount of what resources expended to acquire or develop an asset, develop the asset. So you realize that the cost of service, we are talking about the cost that the entity will expend. The entity will incur in what? Developing the assets. Please, I hope you understand. Please, I hope you understand. Do you understand, please?
Yes. Yes.
So you
Sir,
link.
no. I don't understand the last part.
So I'm saying that you link this one to
Hello, sir.
the operational capacity. You link it to the cost of service. You link it to what? Already, yesterday you talked about what? The definition for the cost of service and the rest. I hope you understand. Yesterday, we
Yes.
came to conclusion that when you say cost of service, you have our cost of service here. Cost of service, you have operation capacity. So you link the question that they've asked you to this. You read on this, you link the question to this. So how does the cost of service, how does the development of software meet the objective of cost of service? Because it is the cost that the entity is going to what? Incur in what? Developing the software.
Yes.
I hope you understand. The operational
Yeah.
capacity is the what? Capacity of the entity to support the what? Provision of what? So the ability of the entity to use the what? The software that they are developing to support the provision of services in the future periods. Please, I hope you understand. And then the financial capacity is the capacity of the entity to fund its activity. So you are looking at the capacity of the entity to even what? Fund the development of the asset that they are bringing at, or the software that they are bringing. Please, I hope you understand.
Okay, sir.
Mr. Osman, if you don't understand, let me take it again for you. Please, are you okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm okay. I'm
Okay.
okay. I'm okay.
So now we have stocks of books in the library. Now, stocks of books in the library.
Yes.
You realize that we have to go and buy the books, right? We have to go and buy the books. Now, when we stock our library, the only instance where you have to restock it is when our books are missing. I hope you understand.
Yes.
Or when you want to buy new books. So if you want to buy new books, that one you have to check the current market price. I hope you understand. But if
Yes.
you are going to replace the stolen books, it means you have to check the replacement cost of um, replacing the same book that was stolen or that got missing in the library. Please, I hope you understand.
Yes.
Mr. Ampere, please you understand. Because this one, we are not going to sell the books. It is a stock that we are having in our firm. We have stocks of books in the library. So if unless they get missing before you replace them. So if you are going to replace them, you cannot use the historical cost because you are not buying them at what? At fresh. I hope you understand. They are already in what? They are already stocks in the library that if they are supposed to get missing, you have to replace them. Please, I hope you understand. So that is the measurement basis for the historical cost. That is the measurement basis for historical cost. So for you to also understand this, you can also come up with something. Right now, AI is even there. So you can give the measurement basis and everything to AI that I want you to use this question to set another question for me. So once the AI sets another question for you, you come to understand what you are trying to do here. Now, when an entity donates something to you, what do you do? Mr. Osman, please, what do you do?
When an entity donates,
Something to you. Let's say
you
they've donated
the vehicle.
COVID-19 equipment to you. What do you do? You have to monetize it, right? You have to,
Yes, and receive it. We have to
yes,
receive it and take charge of it.
yes. You have to
Mhm.
convert it to cash to new rate, right? So now,
Yes.
if you want to convert it to cash, if you want to convert it to cash, what do? You have to go to the market and then look
Yes.
at the current market prices of the items that are being donated to you.
Noted. Yes.
Because you
Hello,
didn't
sir.
buy. Hello, sir.
We didn't buy it.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, my network was misbehaving, so I went off. So the stock of books in the library, I didn't get that part. I
Okay.
just I just joined back again. So
Okay.
please, the stock of
So
books, will
the
it be
stocks,
historical cost or
the stocks of books, we are saying that since they are in
Replacement.
stock, we are not buying them. I
yes,
hope you understand.
yes,
We are not buying them.
yes,
We are
sir.
not developing them. So we cannot use historical cost. We are also not
Mm-hmm,
selling them. I
mm-hmm,
hope, I hope you understand. We are also not selling them. So we cannot use net realizable value. We are also not,
mm-hmm.
you have to know that they are also not assets that will generate us what? Continuous revenue that you are supposed to present value it. However, the stocks, which are the books in the library, can get missing. So if we want to go and buy them again and then restock our entity, we have to look at the replacement cost of the book, the stock.
Oh, okay.
Please, you understand the scenario.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
stocks of books
okay.
in library, we already have our stocks. If you have a supermarket, you have goods in them, and then at the end of the day, you've issued some out. Are you going to record them at a historical cost or are you going to record them at replacement cost? Please, you
Okay.
understand? Already,
Mm-hmm.
you know the market price already. So you know its
Yeah.
replacement cost. That if I replace the milk that they came to buy, then I am
Mm.
good to go. I hope you understand.
Okay.
Please, you understand?
Okay.
So I don't know
sir.
if you got the AI side. I made mention of AI, so I don't know if you got that
No, no,
side.
no, 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 I
Okay.
didn't.
So I'm saying that because this is your first time getting such a question, you can copy the question and give it to AI that use this question to give me
Okay,
another example. I
okay,
hope you
okay,
understand.
okay,
So AI will
okay,
give you more examples with explanation, and then you get to understand it more. So you can even command AI to give me, let's say, 10 different examples, taking into consideration the measurement basis of asset, measurement basis of liability.
okay,
Please, I hope you understand.
okay. Thank you, sir.
And then the vehicle donated to the entity, assuming
Now I
COVID.
said I was the one going to do it.
Yes. So which is historical measurement basis? Which measurement basis will you use?
So if I'm to take a cue from the first two, then we can't use historical cost because the vehicle is not for us. It was given to us by somebody else.
Correct.
So to
Correct.
know
Correct.
the measurement assigned to it,
In fact,
we are
before
not
you
going to
continue,
also
I want to even I want you to understand that you didn't go to buy the hot, you didn't go to buy the vehicle. So that side is correct.
uh-huh.
You are correct at
Okay.
that very side. Let's move on.
And I don't think we are going to sell it to. So we or maybe it's going to get business. So we will not be thinking of replacement. So I think it's the market value to
Why do you
see.
think is the market value?
So in order to measure it, the vehicles were donated to us by someone. We don't know how much the person bought it. So we might just go to
Correct.
the market and then like find out how much such a vehicle will cost if we were to buy it from
Correct.
them, so that we can know the value that we can assign to that particular
Correct.
vehicle.
Correct. So you said it all. I think our brother just nailed it. Do you need any other explanation again?
No, he has finished
Mr.
it.
Yes, so I think he has said it all. But
Yes.
we shouldn't forget to link it to our measurement objectives, right? So you shouldn't forget to link it to measurement objectives. So once you give your trial question to AI, you can tell AI to, you can give the measurement
Okay,
objectives to AI, and then AI will also answer you based on your measurement objectives. Please, I hope you understand.
okay, sir.
So you realize that they've taken only one part of what the 8 chapters that we studied from Monday. They've taken only one side of it, and it is giving you 10 marks. Sometimes you can even get 5 marks. But if you have gone through everything, you realize that you discussed everything in class. I hope you understand. You've
Yes.
discussed everything in class, and you shouldn't see this question in examination and then say that I wasn't able to do it. Because this side alone, the 4 marks there, you should be able to get it easily. Because yesterday I repeated this severally. I repeated this severally. The objectives you're doing, I repeated it. Here, you realize that it is human resource software developed. And yesterday you made mention that historical course is when you go to acquire something or when
Or
you
you develop
develop
it.
something. I hope you understand. So,
Yes.
and then we said market value is supposed to be what? Between two knowledgeable parties. So if they donated vehicle to you, it means they bought it from a market. And then the market is supposed to be active and open. So you go to the market, you ask of the price of what? The vehicle that is
Access.
being paid to you.
Mm.
And then the stock. You know that always we replace our stock. We replace our stock. The only confusion they brought is the library here. You will think about, hey, how do I handle stocks in the library? How do I handle stocks in the library? I hope you understand. That is that. Can you please, any question before you go to the next one?
No, there's no question.
Okay. Let's go to May
Okay.
2020. So we are still on question 1. So number D, course rep, please do your work.
Number D.
Cost rep, you read. Mr. Ampre
Some
will take.
accountants.
Please hold on.
Some
Cost rep,
accountants.
sir, please hold on.
Who is assisting me?
Sir, please hold on. Mr. Osman. So
Yes, sir.
you read, Mr. Ampre will provide answers to I, Mr. Albert will provide answers to I, and then Mr. Ampre will provide answers to I. They will take it from there.
Sir, please come again. I'm taking which one?
Mr. Osman, you will take the question.
Okay.
And then Mr. Haruna will take the I. Mr. Ampre, you take I. And then Mr. Albert will take the I.
Okay.
Mr. Osman, you are also going to answer all the three questions as well.
Okay.
Yes. We die together.
Hello.
So let's go, please.
Some accountants hold the view that development of a conceptual framework for general purpose financial reporting, simply the conceptual framework in the public sector, is needless and a mere information overload on the accountant. This argument is predicated on the fact that the conceptual framework does not establish authoritative requirements for financial reporting by public sector entities that adopt IPSAS, nor does it override the requirement of the International Public Sector Accounting Standard, IPSAS, or the recommended practice guides required. Explain the connection between the conceptual framework on one hand and IPSAS and the RPG, that's the and what? And RPG
recommended practice guide.
Recommended practice guide.
Recommended practice guide. Recommended practice guides. On the other hand, I should take it again.
Yes.
Explain the connection
between the conceptual framework on one hand and IPSAS on IPSAS and RPGs on the other hand.
Yes.
And then
illustrate a practical case where the conceptual framework will be used to an accountant in the preparation and presentation of the general purpose financial report for his organization. 2. Explain 2 constraints on information included in the general purpose financial report.
Okay, that is fine. So number 1, please do your work.
Explain the connection between the conceptual framework on one hand and IPSAS.
Should I help you, or you'll be able to answer?
We're actually looking at it.
Okay. Please let's talk about it. So I'm waiting for you.
Explain the connection between conceptual framework and IPSAS.
I'm waiting for you. Should I assist? Should I assist? Oh, he has left the call.
No, we are still there.
Okay. So you realize that.
So, sir, can I try?
Yes, try.
Okay, so I think the relationship or the connection here is that we learned that the conceptual framework simply provides establishes the concept that underpins general purpose financial reporting. So in my understanding, it is that general framework from which IPSAS was drawn from. Okay, so the relationship is it's like the conceptual framework becomes the big umbrella, and then under which IPSAS is also IPSAS, and then the RPGs are drawn from. But then in their line of work, IPSAS becomes the standards that are used and not the conceptual framework. So that is my small understanding there.
It is not your small understanding. That is the right thing that you have said. We made mention that the conceptual framework, as you said, are the guidelines and the principles that we base on it to come up. The standard setters, the IPSAS, the IPSAS board, they base on it to come up with the IPSAS. And when you read IAS 8, that is accounting policies, accounting assumptions, and I think there is another name for it. You realize that when an entity does not have a specific IFRS or IPSAS, that states that treat the entry this way or treat this event this way, you realize that they are going to use their best judgment, right? Once they use their best judgment, they are supposed to refer to the conceptual framework. So with the conceptual framework, they will have to go and then refer to the definition of the element. They have to go and then refer to the measurement basis of the element. They have to go and then look at the objectives and everything. So what we are saying here is that the conceptual framework, it does not, it is what? It is the guidelines. We are supposed to talk about the authority and then the rule. So they are the principles, the key principles, the conventions, the basis that governs what the financial reporting, the general purpose in the public sector. It does not establish what a mandatory requirement on how a particular standard should go. Please, I hope you understand. However, it guides the standard setters on how to treat a particular transaction. That is by referring to its measurement basis, definition of the elements, and the rest. Please, I hope you understand. So when you go to
law,
it's it is a basis, it's a principle that is there. I hope you understand. So when you go to, let's check the solution and see something. So when you check the solution, you realize that here is it. The role of the conceptual framework is to establish the concept that underpins the financial reporting in the public sector is that adopt the accurate basis of what? That adopt the accurate basis of accounting. The IPSAS does not, the IPSAS applies this concept in developing what? The IPSAS board, the IPSAS board, IPSABS, that is the International Public Sector Accounting Standard Board, applies this concept in developing the IPSAS and recommended practice guide applicable to the preparation and presentation of general purpose financial reports in the public sector. In relation to authority, the conceptual framework does not establish authoritative requirements. So you realize that the question itself is talking about what? The question itself was asking about what? The rule and authority of what? Conceptual framework. So the relationship between the conceptual framework and IPSAS. It is what? The rule and authority. Please, I hope you've seen it.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Please, I hope you've seen it.
Yes, sir.
So that is how the questions are being set. That is how the questions are being set. That is how the questions are being set. The second question illustrates a practical case where conceptual framework will be useful to an accountant in preparation of what? In preparation and presentation of general purpose financial report. So here, I've already given you the answer that a practical example is where you come to realize that the IPSAS does not support a particular treatment. So, however, you have to go and then refer to the conceptual framework, you refer to the definition of the element, you refer to the measurement basis and then the objective and the criteria of the element. Please, I hope you understand. So illustrate a practical case where the conceptual framework will be useful to an accountant in preparation and presentation of general purpose financial report. So you realize that it is the IPSAS that you use to what? Prepare our report. Agreed?
Yes.
You use the IPSAS to prepare our report. And if the IPSAS is not helping us, how does the conceptual framework become useful? The conceptual framework will become useful if we refer to the definition of the element, if we refer to the measurement basis of the element, and how we are going to the criteria for the element to meet before we can see that this is an asset, this is a liability, this is an expense. Please, I hope you understand.
Yes.
And then the constraints. Who is supposed to talk about the constraints, please?
Me.
Mr. Albert or Mr. Humphrey?
No, Humphrey.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Humphrey,
so,
please, constraints. Don't look into your book. Give me all the 3 constraints. Mr. Osman, type it in the chat box.
One is
type it in the chat box for me, Mr. Osman.
I should type what he's going to say.
Yes, type everything. No, you to type your answer in the chat box for me.
The cost benefits.
Okay, so the first one is materiality.
Materiality. How does materiality happen? Yeah. You state and explain.
Okay,
you state and explain.
You explain that the omission or the misstatement of an item in the financial statement can be can cause the user to take certain decisions that under normal circumstances he or she wouldn't have taken if those misstatements or those omissions had not taken place. So you gave an example that if you give me 50 million to work with and I buy something like 100 CDs and I don't record it, it is immaterial.
Yes.
But then if you give me 50 million to work with and then I spend maybe 1 million or 2 million and I don't report it, then it means it's going to affect the financial statement and decision making will be skewed. So that is it with materiality.
Yes.
So and then the second thing is the cost.
We are saying that its omission or misstatement would influence our decision making. I hope you understand.
Mm-hmm.
So a typical example is you've gone for an audit and then you have the sales figure. On the trial balance, you realize that the sales figure is what? The sales figure is, let's say, 2 million Ghana cedis. But on ground, when you went to do the audit, you realize that the sales figure is 1,500,000. The 500 becomes material because once you omit it or its misstatement, is going to affect decision making. 50,000 Ghana cedi is a whole money on it when that is going to affect management decision making. I hope you understand. But if it is, let's say, 2 million and then you have 1,950,000 stated, it could be that maybe as a result of what there's transpositional error or something. That is the reason why the misstatement or omission occurred. I hope you understand. That one is not going to affect our decision making. Please, I hope you understand.
Yes.
And then the second one, please.
The second one is the cost benefit.
The cost benefit.
The cost benefit. Where you explain that we must check the balance between the cost of maybe preparing the general purpose financial report against the benefit we are going to gain if we are to do that.
Sharp. Mr. Osman, the last point. Yes, sir.
Time constraint.
Constraint between the qualitative characteristics.
Constraint on information including the cost financial. You know the III.
Yes, the III. Constraint between the qualitative characteristics. So we are saying that the constraints, the qualitative characteristics, they work together, right? So there should be a trade-off. There should be a balance between the qualitative characteristics. I hope you understand.
Yes.
That is it. So let's go to our solution and then see how they came about it. So the III, particularly the conceptual framework, provide a conceptual foundation for developing the IPSAS and then the RPGs. That is the recommended practice guide, and therefore is relevant to standard settings. However, the preparers of general purpose financial report based on the IFRS will also find the conceptual framework useful in some instances. Particularly, the conceptual framework will provide guidelines to preparers in dealing with financial reporting issues not dealt with by the IPSAS or the RPGs. The preparers can refer to and consider the applicability of definitions, recognition criteria, and measurement principles and other concepts in the conceptual framework. Please, I hope you understand. So have you seen how the conceptual framework becomes useful? For example, a preparer of financial report finds that there is a peculiar transaction of the entity where there is no specific IPSAS enforced to deal with the matter, and therefore has to use his own judgment in solving the problem. The preparer may rely on definition, recognition criteria, and measurement basis principles in conceptual framework to arrive at a treatment of transaction which will largely conform with the spirit of the IPSAS if one had existed. I hope you understand. So the authority, you realize that the conceptual framework does not override the IPSAS. The conceptual framework is there to what? Support. Just give the overview that this is how it is supposed to be. Please, I hope you understand.
Yes.
I hope you understand. That is it. And then the materiality, as we've said, that its omission or misstatement could influence the discharge of accountability of the entity and decision making. And then cost benefit, always, because we find it difficult to assess the cost and the benefits that we get from the preparation of the report, it always becomes a constraint. And then the qualitative character, they work together to contribute to the usefulness of the information. But because mostly we don't see their trade-off or the balance between them, it becomes a constraint. Are we good?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Any question before we proceed? So let's go to the next one. The next one is 2021 November. Sorry, 2020 November. 2020 November. So let's go to question 1. Question 1 is here. In line with conceptual framework for general purpose financial reporting by public sector entities issued by the International Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, explain the difference between general purpose financial reports and special purpose financial reports. Now, let me give you a broad overview of the general purpose financial report and then special purpose financial report. The general purpose financial report, they are reports prepared to meet users who are unable to demand for the information. So let's say I want us to have an example. Let's say Flourish Professional Institute. Our mandate is to, let's say, obtain 5,000 Ghana cedis as our classes fee from 5 students. Now, special purpose financial report means that the report is going to be required by what? Specific people. That is the management of what? Flourish Professional Institute. So Flourish Professional Institute management will say that provide me with only your cash flow statement. Provide me with only your statement of financial position. That is specific. Come up with a statement that is going to show that this is the amount of dividend that what you are supposed to pay this year. So, like, you are just preparing the information to meet a specific need of a group of people. I hope you understand. So, a group of people will request that prepare the statement to meet this criteria. Please, I hope you understand. But the general purpose financial report, no one requests for it. You are mandated to do it. The IFRS says that you should prepare the financial report every year. So it is a general purpose report that you prepare for everyone to have access to it. But with a special purpose, that one you are being mandated to prepare it to meet a particular suit. I hope you understand. Please, you understand?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So the definition is
Yes.
given to you in the note already. We are also going to check from the answers for us to also know what you are talking about. And then according to the conceptual framework for general purpose financial report, the objective of measurement in financial reporting in the public sector entity is to select the measurement basis that really reflect the cost of service, operational capacity, and financial capacity of the entity in a manner that is useful for accountability and decision-making purposes. Explain the under-listed basis and discuss the extent to which the measurement reflect the cost of benefit. Are we supposed to talk about this? Are we supposed to talk about this?
We have done it already.
We have done it. So have you seen how the question is being framed? This time around, they didn't give you a scenario. They are just requesting that you define it. It is 9 marks, so 3 marks each. So you define it for 1 mark. You link it to cost of service for 1 mark. You link it to personal capacity for 1 mark. You link it to financial capacity for 1 mark. 3 marks each. Even if you don't know how to link them, cost of service, just state the cost of service. Cost of service is the cost of what? The service that they are going to render. I hope you understand. The cost of service, the historical cost of service, the cost that they incur in what? Acquiring the asset. Operational capacity, the capacity of the asset that they acquire, the operational capacity for it to provide what services to the entity. Financial capacity of historical cost. You are saying that the entity is supposed to have money to buy the asset or develop the asset. Please, I hope you understand.
Mm-hmm.
Please, I hope you understand.
Yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is that. So let's go to our solution and then look at how they've answered it. Let's go to our solution and look at how they've answered it. So general purpose financial report. General purpose financial report are financial report prepared primarily to respond to the information of users who do not possess authority to require for a public entity to disclose the information they need for accountability and decision making. So they are reports that are prepared by public sector entities to people, to users who do not possess authority. They don't have authority to require for a public sector entity to publish a statement. And then these people are people like the citizens, the parliament, and the rest. They don't have authority to request for it. I hope you understand. But a special purpose financial report, you are mandated, like you are going to be specifically requested that you are going to be asked by your shareholders that prepare this statement for me. So that is it. The general purpose financial must be prepared in compliance with IPSAS. So you are mandated by IPSAS to always publish your financial report. However, you are only mandated by IPSAS to do this, but no user will give you go ahead that I need this information, I need this information, I need this information. So do it this way. No. On the other hand, special purpose financial reports are those reports prepared to respond to the information requirement of users that have authority to require for the preparation of financial report that disclose the information need for their particular purpose. Have you seen the difference? Have you seen the difference? They are
Yes.
report prepared to respond to information requirement of users that have authority. So those people have authority to request for a particular financial report to respond to their particular purpose. I hope you understand. So you realize that special purpose financial reports are prepared in compliance with what? Requirement of users and need not to comply with IPSAS. Please, I hope you understand. So
Yes.
one difference is that a key difference is that the general purpose financial reports are reports that are being mandated by IPSAS for you to prepare them. By the general purpose report, you are just supposed to use the requirements by the users. I hope you understand.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope you understand.
Yes. So any report demanded by management in the office, it can be a special purpose.
Yes, under normal circumstance, let's say we are a bank.
Yes.
The bank is supposed to what? The bank is supposed to publish its financial report, right? That is a general purpose financial report. You are being mandated by the Act. You are being mandated by IFSAS. You are being mandated by IFRS to publish your financial report. But if management is if shareholders are going for their own meeting, they can just say that this meeting, you are going to need the financial position only. So please prepare the financial position from just 2020 to 2025 for us. It's a special report.
That for management.
That is for management alone.
They have authority.
They have the authority to request for it. So this one, they will say that maybe don't even bring the equity side, just bring the current asset and current liability. So you are just going to follow their requirement, the requirement given to you by the users. Do we agree now?
Yes.
We agree now. So the historical cost is the consideration given to acquire the development of an asset. So the cost of service by providing information on amounts of the resources expended to acquire. So the cost of service, you know the historical cost, we are always buying or developing something, right? So the cost of service is the cost that we incur to either acquire or develop the asset, to consume the asset in the provision of services. So if a part of your printer is not working, you have to let's say you have to buy a new printer, right? So the cost of service is the cost the amount that you expended to acquire the asset. Please, I hope you understand.
Yes.
And then the operation capacity through information on the resources available to provide services in the future. So we are looking at the capacity of the entity to use the asset to provide services, operational. You are providing services in the future periods based on the cost of the asset. So if you are going to buy a printer, the operation capacity is the capacity of the entity to use the printer to provide services on the cost that you have expended to buy the printer. And the financial capacity, we are saying that is the capacity for the entity to provide finances to secure the printer. Please, I hope you understand.
Yes.
And then when you take market value, we are saying that market value, you are looking at a transaction between two knowledgeable people in an arm's length transaction. So vehicle is traded in an open market, active and orderly market. So obtaining market value is predictable. So the cost of service by allocating the cost of assets reflects the consumption in the current reporting period based on the current market prices. So if you want to acquire a vehicle, the cost of service is the cost that you pay, the cost that you are going to pay based on the current market price. Example is the vehicle that they donated. Please, I hope you remember.
Yes.
The vehicle that they donated. The cost of service will be the cost of what? The market value of the vehicle that was what? Donated. I hope you understand. And
Yes.
then the operational capacity will be the capacity of the what? The entity to use the donated vehicle to what? Provide services in the future periods. Do we understand? Do we understand?
Yes.
And then the financial capacity, assuming that we are to buy the asset or we are to sell the asset. Let's say we are even buying the asset. So the information on the amount that will be received on the sale of the asset or purchase of the asset. I hope you understand. Bear in mind that the market value, we are always looking at what? Sale. Market value of an asset is the amount for which asset could be exchanged. So if asset is going to be exchanged, then it means that the entity is supposed to provide finances, right? So
Yes,
the capacity of the entity to what? Provide an amount that will be received on the sale on what? On the asset. So the amount that you will pay when you receive the asset. Are we okay?
Yes.
And then the replacement cost is also here. So replacement cost is the measurement basis that fairly reflect the cost of what service, operational capacity, and financial capacity. Okay, so I think this is even I think it's the same question, right? I don't know if it's the same question.
The library books.
Yes, I am sure it is not the library books. I am even sure they copied the solution from, yes, so they copied the solution. You realize that they did copy and paste.
Yes.
So you realize that it is the same library book that is being changed.
That is it.
The same library question that is being changed. I hope you understand. It is they've modified it. They've modified it. So there's no new question coming from anywhere. So the replacement cost, you realize that the replacement cost, the cost of service to be equivalent to the amount of sacrifice of service potential to incur by that use. And then the operational capacity is always what? Providing services, right? And then the financial capacity, we are looking at what? Getting the resources to even go to what? Acquire the asset back. I hope you understand.
Yes.
That is it. So you realize this is what I said. 1 times 3, 2 times 3. So you give 1 point, 9 marks to be awarded. That is it. When it comes to the next one, which is May 2021. May 2021. That is what? This one. 10 marks free. 10 marks. 10 marks is free. 10 marks is free. Implementation of IPSAS is a priority of government in 2021, and the Controller and Accountant General. And the Controller and Accountant General is doing everything possible to ensure effective implementation. One major concern of the implementation is measurement of public assets, and these assets are numerous, varied and acquired in different ways. Nevertheless, assets need to be measured and recognized in accordance with IPSAS. Explain the objective of measurement in financial reporting under IPSAS. What are the objective of measurement? Objective of measurement is to select a fairly basis of accounting that reflect the cost of assets, operational capacity, and then the financial capacity. 4 marks free. When you check this, you realize that the first question that you saw, they repeated this again. Please, have you realized it?
Yes.
Yeah.
They repeated the same question. And then the measurement, explain 4 measurement basis of asset in line with what? So 4 measurements of what? Assets. So if you realize, one thing you realize is that all the questions that they've asked from 2019 to 2021 was about what? Measurement. Have you come to realize that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they can decide to take one aspect of what? They can decide to take one aspect of the 8 chapters and bring it. Sometimes in financial reporting, there has been instances where they've even asked the student to even write or explain the 8 chapters. So you give a brief explanation on the 8 chapters. So we cannot just say that I'm going to learn measurement, I'm going to learn objective or this one, I'm going to learn something, and then I'll leave it. You have to read all the 8 chapters. You read all the 8 chapters. I think this is May 2021, right? Let me check the next one. They were asking about the reporting entity. I don't know if it is the next one, but let me check if it is that question. We saw May 2021. I think that is March 2021. Okay, May 2021. Let's go to November 2021 and see something, if you get it. Yes. So general, so you see 10 marks free, 10 marks free. General purpose financial report is concerned with the provision of information to users for accountability and decision-making purposes. It is said that financial reporting is not an end in itself, but a means to an end. However, it does not mean that every public sector entity is a reporting entity. However, it does not mean that every public sector is what? A reporting entity. Do you remember yesterday I told you that a reporting entity is an entity that prepares financial reports? So if that sector is not a reporting entity, what does it mean? That entity does not what? Prepare financial reports. Do you understand?
Yes.
That is it. Simple. So you realize that this one, they brought reporting entity, and then they brought users of what? 5 primary users of general purpose financial report. In reference to conceptual framework of general purpose financial report, explain information need of 5 primary users of general purpose financial reports. 5 primary users. We said we have government, we have lenders, we have donor supporters, we have citizens.
Parliament.
Lucy said, and then parliament. And parliament. So what are their information needs? Just write their information needs. That is all. Citizens, they are interested in what? Efficient service delivery. Taxpayers, they want to know if their taxes are being implemented well. Lenders, they want to know if they give you money, you'll be able to pay them on time. Suppliers, parliament. Please, I hope you understand. So that is that. 7 marks for free. 7 marks for free. And then discuss the statement. This does not mean that every public sector entity is what a reporting entity. Now, if a public sector is a reporting entity, the public sector is supposed to meet some 2 criteria. Do you remember yesterday we said that? Do you remember we talked about the criteria for an entity to meet before the entity can become a public sector entity? Please, do you remember that they obtain resources on behalf of their constituents and use those resources to undertake activities to benefit their constituents? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
And then also they are supposed to take into consideration the constraints, something. Do you remember?
Yes.
So you explain public sector entity and reporting entity, and you also talk about what? You also talk about so you have taxpayers, you have citizens of parliament, you have taxpayers, you have investors, we have donors and sponsors, we have creditors and lenders. So you realize that it is the statement, this does not mean every public sector entity is a reporting entity. Generally borders on what constitutes a reporting entity under public sector organization. I hope you understand. When you come here, you realize that the key characteristics of a public sector entity that is a reporting entity are: it raises revenue, then it is a service remitted or resource provider of general purpose financial reporting for accountability and decision making because of their nature of what? Compliance. So here you can just come you can just come. Reporting entity. Where's the reporting entity? You have our reporting entity here. So this is our reporting entity. You take everything here. You talk about reporting entity. That is why you have to know everything under the 8 chapters. Do you understand?
Mm.
That is why you have to know everything under the 8 chapters. Once you know everything under the 8 chapters, you are good to go. That is that. So please, have you seen how the questions are being set?
Yes.
That is how the questions are being set. So in mock, I can just decide to punish you, or even class exercise. I can just ask you to go and explain all the 8 chapters. So the 8 chapters, I can even ask you to go and then do a recording, a voice recording under the 8 chapters. Everything that you remember under the 8 chapters from root to presentation, record everything and send it to me. I will listen to it and then I will mark you. Sometimes so I can intentionally take the element. I think when you check how do you call it? I'm sure it is supposed to be July 2025. July 2025. July 2025. Let me see if we have July 2025. So July 2025, that question was under question 5 also, I'm sure. Let me see. No, it's supposed to be under question 3 or question 1. I'll see it somewhere. So this is question 1. This is question 2. Question 2 is standards. Question 3. Question 4. I don't know if it is question. Yes. So this is the question 5. See, this is what I was talking about. Financial statements portray the financial effect of transaction and other events by grouping them into broad classes which share common economic characteristics. These broad classes are termed the elements of financial statement. Elements of financial statement are the building block from which financial statements are constructed. These building blocks provide an initial point for recording, classifying, and aggregating economic data and activity in a way that provides users with information that meets the objectives of financial reporting. Asset represents one of the elements of the statement and is defined by the conceptual framework as a resource presently controlled as a result of past events. Have you seen that this is the definition for assets?
Resource control.
Resource
Entity.
presently controlled by an entity as a result of past events. Discuss the phrase in the definition. An asset is an asset in the concept of the finance. Discuss the following phrase in the definition of an asset in context of the conceptual framework. A resource. What do you mean by a resource? Presently controlled by an entity. So you realize that they took only the what? They took only the elements of financial statement. Elements
Yes.
of financial statement, and then they question you about it.
About it.
And then explain 4 other elements of financial statement with reference to conceptual framework. So if they've talked about assets, what do you have to talk about? Revenue, expenses, ownership contribution, ownership distribution. Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
Yes.
So that alone is giving you 4 marks. And then this is giving you 6 marks, 10 marks for free. So let's go and then check what they wrote. Question 5A. So question 5A. A resource is an item which an entity potentially or a resource is an item with the service potential or the ability to generate economic benefits. A resource. Physical form is not necessarily a condition for what? A resource. So resource is something that has the ability to generate what benefit to you. Please, you understand. And yesterday,
Yes.
you realize that I stated clearly that see asset to be something that puts money in your pocket. See asset to be something that puts money in your pocket. So if you are a construction firm and then you have a truck that sends the dust or the small chippings to or this one, the car is an asset. And at the end of the day, the car is there to provide services to you. It is a resource that you presently own. There should be a physical existence of it. But mostly the physical existence is not necessarily a condition for a resource. You understand? Because you can also have an intangible asset, like a software, and it still has the ability to generate benefit to you. I hope you understand. So mostly the physical form of it is not really, it's not necessarily a condition, but the ability for that thing to generate you a benefit is what? Is the asset. Please, I hope you understand.
Yes.
And then presently controlled by an entity. An entity must have control of the resource. Control of resource entails the ability of the entity to use the resource or direct the other parties on its use so as to drive the benefit of the service potential or economic benefit that's embodied in the resource. So you presently control it. So you own a car. You own a car. As a managing director, you tell the driver where to go and where not to go. Am I lying?
Yes.
That is it. So in assessing, I think this particular thing is even financial. You realize that this note is coming from financial reporting slides. They picked everything from financial reporting slides. If you have the financial reporting book, you realize that when you talk about presently controlled assets, you talk about the legal ownership, you talk about the access of the resource, the existence of the right of something. So they picked the solution even from the what? They picked the solution from the financial reporting notes. So once you have this, that is it. So you provide you with, you realize that everything that you have seen here, we have discussed it in class, just that they will intentionally frame the question in a way that you won't understand it. But once you understand it, the answering of the question becomes very easy for you as well. Are you okay?
Yes.
Any question? Any question for today? So today, I think we've done about 3 years, right? Or 2.5 years. You've done about 2.5 years. So this is Flourish Professional Institute. So at the end of the topic, or maybe some of the facilitators, what they do is that they will treat some 2 or 3 topics before they even start the past question. But public sector, I mostly do the past questions for you to, if I'm not able to do it, like I've done up to 2022, I'll give the rest for you to go and then solve it, and then I'll take it. So at the end of the day, you know that you have already finished all the past question from 2019 to 2025. So this is one thing that you get from Flourish Professional Institute. You have the normal classes with you. We have some 1 hour, 30 minutes or 2 hours session with you, solve past question. The remaining ones, we give it to you in a group. I will join and then we take it from there. Any question? Any question?
No. No.
No question.
No, thanks.
Mr. Amber, please, any question?
Yes, but it's not related to this. So
No problem. You can still ask.
Since you know my problem, my accounting is not good. I don't have that. So if I'm to join the level 1 financial accounting, will I have to pay the same amount? since I'm not going to write the exam, it's just for knowledge sake.
So you message me on that. Send me a message
Okay.
that, and then we take it from there. So you join the financial accounting class, then you have the idea. Because even this one, the financial reporting that you are going to do is going to be some sort of build up from level 1 to level 2. So let's take it from there. Message me right away, then we take it from there.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Mr. Osman, please, which other course are you taking?
The auditing.
Audit. Advanced audit. So the advanced audit, I'm sure the guy is at PwC or KPMG, one of the big four. So he's very good. He's very good. So he'll take you through everything. I'll also talk to him. He's one of the legitimate guys that we have at the institute, the Flourish Professor Institute. I'll talk to him and then you have a discussion with him. If you have any challenge, just message me. I'll talk to the facilitators in question and then we'll sort you out.
That one, we are not starting it now.
No, we are going to start the official class.
Because those my friends, they called me yesterday that you said it's next month if that they will start. I told them that no, we have started something. That you said it's next month if December.
Yeah, 8 December. It is not all the courses that we've started this one. You understand? Yes.
Okay.
All the courses. But public sector, we see some of them are having the masters and everything. So they just need a push to go to the level 3. That is how come we start this one early. We start the, how do you call it?
Public
the
sector.
process early. Yes.
Okay. Because they are supposed to also sit in for the public sector. So
yes, if they are going to register for public sector, then please tell them to register and then join. And then
I told them.
Yes, okay, that is fine. I think with time.
But they said you said next month if.
So you can explain to them that the main classes will start at 8 December, but we are also having a pre-classes for
classes,
the courses, especially financial reporting and then how do you call it? Public sector accounting. So from next week, we are not even going to meet regularly like how do you call it? Like this week because of the IFSAS.
Okay.
Yeah, so once Madam meets you today, maybe you meet the next day or after the 2 days or something.
Okay, I'll talk to them.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. So can we end it today?
Yes,
or let me pause the class and let's have our personal discussion so that we know each and everyone's problem.